We're here at the Emily's List event at the Democratic National Convention, and I'm speaking to
Susan Markham
from Emily's List. And what's your position with Emily's List?
I'm the Deputy Political Director.
Wonderful. And I understand you have a program for working with women running at the state and local level?
Yes. Back in 2001, we found the first time in 40 years the number of women elected at the state legislative level went down for the first time in 40 years. And it's not like we were at 50%. We're still only at 23%. So we started the Political Opportunity Program called POP. And POP works with women around the country who are running at the state and local level for office.
And how long has the POP program been running?
It started in 2001. So we've been going continuously doing trainings and working with candidates since then.
And what results have you seen?
We've seen a lot of great results. In 2006, we helped elect 20 new women to the statewide offices, not governor, but lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretaries of state, and these are the future governors for our country. Last year, besides those 20, in 2006, we supported 267 other women who are running for state legislative office, and 194 won. So this year, as we get through this cycle, I think we'll be even closer to 300 women who are running at the state level that we've helped with a direct contribution or any way that we can on their campaign and that sort of thing.
And what issues and of importance to voters are you finding that women running at these levels are campaigning on and that are helping them get elected?
Well, it's very similar to what's going on at the federal level. I think women across the country are really worried about the pocketbook issues, the price of gas and how that affects the price of food and just the way that they get through their day-to-day life. And I think it's women candidates tend to speak very well to these issues because they're often the times in their family that they know how much the food costs and they've been running the kids around doing carpools. And so we just urge women to talk about the issues that they know and that the voters will understand that they have the experience and the knowledge to represent them at the state level.
And if our viewers want to get involved in helping efforts such as this to help elect women, what can they do?
Well, volunteer. Go out. These state legislative races, especially in a presidential year like this, the presidential comes in and they take all the people, the volunteers, they raise a lot of money, which might otherwise go to other candidates. And so these state legislative races, they might not even have one full-time staff person. So if you can go in and volunteer for one of these women who are running, it's a great help to them. And also, of course, I can't work at Emily's List without saying you've got to write a check. And it doesn't have to be a big check. Oftentimes, if you can write a check for $5 or $25, it's very helpful for these campaigns where the budget might only be $10,000 to run for state legislative office. I think the main thing is just it's so hard in our daily lives to find the time to volunteer. We all are just trying to get our kids to school and figure out, do we have the backpack that they need for the first day and all these sorts of things. And so, really trying to take the time, but a couple hours here or there, it's so appreciated and so necessary for these campaigns.
And how can we find candidates like this to support?
On the Emily's List website, emilyslist.org, it lists all of the federal races, but then we're also coming up with a map so you could click on that state and see what other women that we're supporting in that state, but also your state party or your county party. I mean, if you can look through the Democratic Party and just look in your white pages and find out the phone number. They have lists of candidates on the website. They list the candidates that are, especially now that the primaries are almost over, they have the nominees there. So the information's out, but chances are it's not going to come to your door. You've got to search it out a little bit.
And can you just talk a little bit about the event that just happened and the role of the women governors and representatives that took part?
Yes, it was a great event. I just came out from being in there and great excitement, a lot of elected officials. Emily's List has been around for over 20 years. And so when we ask them to come back and talk to people who might not know about Emily's List, I think they are always pretty happy to do it because we play a role in their campaigns when they first get elected and then stay in touch with them as they go on to run for other office. This year, especially with Christine Gregoire up in Washington, she has a very tough re-election campaign for governor there. And then the Senate races we're working with in North Carolina and New Hampshire. the woman who's running for the Senate in North Carolina actually came through the POP program. She was a state senator before. Jean Shaheen, who's running for the Senate in New Hampshire, was a governor. So she's worked with Emily's List before. And they really see the power of what we do at Emily's List, which is gather a lot of small checks together from women across the country and really help them get that early money that they need in their campaigns.
And we heard a little bit from Hillary Clinton just now. And what do you think she needs to say to women voters? And what does Barack Obama need to say to women voters to get them to participate and elect a Democratic president?
Well, I really think that that Hillary is doing everything she can to help elect Barack Obama president. She's been in 5 states already. She's traveling around. I think tonight's speech will be very instructive. But I think she really wants to help him get there. They're just trying to figure out the right way to do that. But I think for both of them, in order to help women up and down the ticket this year, they just need to talk about the issues that women care about, and they're not that different than what the issues that men care about. Really focusing on, as I said before, the daily issues. Worried about if I lose my health care, what are my kids going to do, and get these gas prices down, and how do I afford, to pay for health care and/or medicine or the grocery bill, and just really, I think, showing us that. That they understand our lives, because their lives aren't really like ours. And the more you're around craziness like this, you understand how they're not like ours. But I think if they just speak from the heart, I think Hillary did the best in her campaign when she was speaking from her heart and kind of threw the script away. I think last night was great when Barack was talking to his kids and his wife on that video feed right at the very end, because it showed, like, he's the dad, and those girls, the little girl grabbing the microphone. Well, I have a 4- and a 5-year-old, and I was like, oh my gosh, get the microphone away from the little one. But it was just so real. And I think the more people see him as a dad and someone who really cares and is trying to do the right thing, Michelle Obama actually spoke to that in there. And so I think the more you kind of hear that, and the more we can communicate to the people that we know about how he has a very similar background to many of us, that it will translate. And I think we're going to do great.